Hello, we're going to do an art lesson today about complementary colors. Jacob and I are doing a two-part video. So this is the first part, and Jacob helped me draw our color wheel. So this is a little bit more advanced color wheel than just your basic colors. You can look up any kind of color wheel. And I want to teach you about complementary colors. Complementary colors are colors that are directly across from each other on the color wheel that you use to give a shadow to one color or the other. This works well for Prismacolor pencils, which is our favorite color pencils because they blend well together, better than most color pencils, which I'll show you. And paint too. When you're mixing paint, you want to use the complementary color to give something a shadow, especially with acrylic or oil paint, and sometimes with watercolor. So here are our complementary colors. Yellow and purple are complements. As you can see, yellow is across from the color wheel to purple. Blue and orange. Blues are across from the oranges, and reds and greens. So here's our greens and here's our reds, okay? Reds and pinks, lights, greens, different variations, but we're gonna stick with our almost primary kind of simple colors right now. So now I'm going to show you just how to draw a shape by using its complementary color to give it a shadow. So we're gonna stick with something simple like a yellow ball. So we're going to show you how to use complementary colors to make a shadow and make something look kind of 3D. So we're drawing a yellow ball, and I'm going to use purple as a complementary color. So the shadow is going to go at the bottom to make it look three-dimensional. So I start adding a little bit of purple, and I go back and forth, especially with the Prismacolors, blending them together to give it a little three-dimensional shape. I would shade lightly, don't press too hard, because then you can do layers of your color pencils. The darkest should go at the bottom. See how it doesn't really look purple anymore, it looks like a shadow on the yellow. And you can give it as much shadow if you want to do a little, or so we're blending it together so it look kind of three-dimensional a little bit here. Yeah. And then we're going to also give it a shadow underneath. So if this side is lighter, that side's darker, that means your light is coming from this angle. So here's our light, and it's coming from this angle. Too close. Got it? The light is coming from this angle, shining down on this ball. So here's the shadow, which means the shadow it's going to cast underneath it on whatever surface it's sitting on. It's going to go this way. So Jacob is new at videotaping, so his camera's all over the place. Hopefully you can follow this. Please hold it straight. Okay. Right there, okay? All right, so here's our shadow. So I'm going to use purple. So for the yellow, for the ball, we used yellow as our main color, and then we added some purple for the shadow. Now I'm gonna do the actual shadow from the ball in purple and add a little yellow. So whatever darker, you pick the darker color and add to it, see? So this is our shadow.
That's cool.
Right?
And later in the next video, instead of shapes, we're gonna do actual drawings with the complementary color.
Let me do the other ones is just a simple shape, and then Jacob will do a drawing using this lesson. Okay, too close to my face. So let's go back. Now we're gonna do a shape with green and red. What shape should we do, Jacob?
Cone.
Okay, we'll do a cone. Okay, so let's do a red cone. I'm gonna do it here. Can you see?
Yes, I can see.
Hold it right there. Okay, good. Okay, so here's our cone. Well, cones, so it's like a triangle, right? But then you have to round the bottom out. So as I think they learn in kindergarten, semicircle at the bottom of your triangle makes a cone. So let's lightly shade in our cone with red.
Make it more 3D with the shadow.
Yes. Well, because cones are 3D, right? But I guess in math, you have just an outline. All right. So here's our cone. Let's just make it simple and stick to the same light source. So our light is here. So
I like your little sun.
thank you. So we start adding our shadow to our cone with our green. We lightly blend it in, right? And then we go back to our red, blend the red with the green. I like Prismacolor pencils because you can do blending and not be as messy as painting with kids, especially.
That's why we like Prismacolor.
Yes. So now I'm pressing harder to lighten. The other nice thing about the Prismacolors is it comes with a white, and the white actually acts like a blending tool too. So you see, I can put this over and blend it together nicer. And the white you can press hard with then when you're blending it all together. I feel like we lost the point of our cone here, Jacob.
Stubby cone.
Oops, the green went a little bit out of the line. Okay, so it gives it like a little bit of a 3D. And now we're gonna add our shadow. It's a little bit harder to do a shadow of a cone because the ball is round. It's gonna be like a flattened round shape. So cone, let's try to just keep the same shape. So we start with the green like we did for the yellow with the purple. So that's the darker of the colors.
I can't see. And we blend it with the red.
And blend it with the red.
And white.
So get the idea?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do our last one. We'll do a rectangle with orange and blue because those are complements. Like again, we have, here's our, sorry about our shadow.
Orange. So we did yellow and purple, red and green, and now we're gonna do blue and white.
Okay, we're gonna do our last one. Can you hold this one?
The darker colors are always the shadow colors. The cold colors.
Well, that's another lesson. We could teach them about cool and warm colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not true because it depends because red can be a dark color. That's a whole nother lesson. Let's not go into that. Okay, so let's do our square. Let's do an orange square or blue square. What do you want to do? Let's do blue square. Okay, can you see?
Yes.
Okay, so here's our sun.
Okay.
Here's our,
Are we gonna make it like a 3D shape?
oh. Well, we're gonna stick to the same things right now. Let's just keep it like you're looking straight on the square. If you're looking straight at a square, you won't be able to see the other angles, so.
You're right.
And it's not a perfect square, but. So here's our square. Now, use our orange. We blend it back with our blue.
And you could use any shade of blue or orange or yellow or red.
You can, but it probably like works best to be close to similar value. Like, so I try to use this, value means like how dark or light something is. So if I'm using a darker blue, you should try to use a darker orange. If you're doing like a lighter orange, then you use a lighter blue. That helps, I think. Okay, so that's basically like our shadow for our orange, I think.
It's a square.
I mean, square.
The square orange. A blue square.
We're gonna use our white to blend it together from our Prismacolors. Okay, And then we're going to do our shadow underneath the square, right? So, I'm going to do like a little shadow.
And then you could also trace it, like to make it stand out more, put pen and ink around the shapes.
Okay. So there you go. Gives you an idea. See, using our complementary colors and giving some shadows. And now Jacob's going to draw a whole picture using our complementary color lesson, and we'll show you that later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.